Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook video updated on Tuesday the 29th of May. Now, it's all a very slow weather pattern at the moment, things not progressing very far over a good few days. High pressure is towards the north, thundery low pressure is towards the south, and that's more or less the theme into this weekend. Looks as though the start of June will see plenty of fair weather, so it's still a little rainfall across Scotland where things are very dry with that ongoing fire risk. Then we're just watching when or if things start to break down, heading towards the middle of June. More on that in a moment. I think there will be some pattern changes going further down the line. In the short term, here's Wednesday's chart, and we've got slack low pressure towards the south. The general drift is an easterly, but winds are broadly very light. Now, a trough that is moving north westwards across central England and Wales is bringing the risk of some heavy bursts of rain, local thundery outbreaks in there as well during Wednesday. And I think that will affect the Peak District, the Pennines and into the hills of Wales as we go through the middle of the day into the afternoon. A separate feature just running into eastern Scotland may trigger a few bursts of rain here later in the day, but for the West Highlands overall it's another dry and very warm day. Top temperatures in the Glens, the warmest spot of the whole country probably, somewhere in western Scotland around 25 degrees Celsius. Now, there might be a few bursts of rain across the Northern Highlands through overnight into Thursday. Could be one or two around even first thing in the day then, with that trough just in place there. Across England and Wales, another trough. The dashed line shown on this chart, incidentally, is more or less where the thundery troughs exist, all very messy. But that's where we've got, again, a breakout of thunderstorms, probably extensively across central England into parts of Wales. Isolated thunderstorms maybe down the Pennines into the Peak District. A chance that much of Scotland and the far north of England escapes broadly dry with just a very rare isolated thunderstorm. Some murk and some low cloud again, possibly on some eastern slopes, most of the higher tops above this low cloud. But anywhere where there's been a burst of rain, you could find a patch of cloud almost at any level. Not too much wind around, so if you do catch a shower, they'll move around slowly. Again, almost windless into Friday. Local gusts, though, may just be around in showery outbreaks, and I think the idea of showers, thunderstorms, a bit more extensive through the day on Friday. A trough that extends down the spine of the country from Scotland to northern England could well produce a line of quite intense thunderstorms for some, but still could be rather hit and miss. Not everywhere will get these. I think watch your local details is all we can say. Pressure is so slack and everything moving around so slowly, there may be some changes yet before we get there. For Wales, there may be a smaller risk of thunderstorms, but you still wouldn't rule something out. Into the weekend, it's all staying very slack. High pressure is towards the northwest, sort of an east or a northeasterly sort of drift. Still not too much wind around. The risk of some local showers, perhaps focused on the Highlands. There might be a few down the Pennines as well. Again, watch the details really. These charts with such slack pressure could change before we get to this point. So just looking at the big picture as we go forwards and just starting off, just backpedaling slightly towards Thursday, just to show you how things evolve. It's this slack zone of low pressure that's in charge in the short term. Higher pressure, though, which builds to the northwest of us. I mean, it's high pressure there almost anyway, but a strengthening high is what we're seeing as we head into the weekend. This is through into Saturday and Sunday. That high towards the northwest then just gains some strength. Pressure builds more extensively across Britain. It starts to cut some of the thunderstorms more away into parts of Europe, although the odd shower is still possible across the British Isles through the weekend. I think overall, though, that high is going to be in charge through into next week. It looks as though it still focuses itself towards the north, so a general wind flow from the east to northeast is believable. Could still pull in a lot of low-level cloud and murk onto some North Sea coasts, filtering inland at times, retreating back to the coast, possibly during the daytimes. Western mountains, western regions staying essentially dry, with lots of sunshine again, I would have thought. Wind speeds could be a bit tricky. It may just strengthen for a time in the new week, but I don't think anything too strong at any point going further forwards. And very little, if any, rainfall around. Could just be an isolated thunderstorm pop up very locally, but overall, the week ahead, that first full week of June, keeps high pressure nearby. Question then is when or if anything begins to change. There's low pressure out over the Atlantic, but for now it's well away. There's nothing immediately showing a sign of coming in off the Atlantic, so still a fairly blocked, dry scenario in this first part of June at least. As we just go a little bit further down the line, that's the indications from the longer range modelling as we go forwards towards mid-June. That's the 7-day anomaly of the pressure levels in the middle part of the atmosphere. It gives us a usable steer for the general trends. What we've still got then is high pressure towards the northwest of us, but just having moved away a little bit again by this time, allowing lower pressure around Central Europe, Scandinavia perhaps, to get into the picture. And it's maybe just a sign of a general fall of pressure, which brings perhaps a change to more unsettled conditions heading for mid-month. Exactly how this whole pattern shakes out, still hard to say, but just the early signs of some pattern changes. It could be things do turn eventually wetter. But with that sort of wind direction, with that pressure setup, you'd still be in something of an east or a northeasterly, which would put the West Highlands under a drier scenario. So still nothing really coming in as a powerful westerly, just at this stage at least. We'll see how things go. A lot of uncertainty, particularly in the short term, about these thunderstorms, and that will have some knock-on effects down the line as just how the weather pattern evolves. But overall, still a lot of high pressure nearby, further dry and very warm weather will be in the picture. So again, just be aware of that fire risk. The ground likely to stay very dry in many areas. We'll update this video for you again on Friday of this week with that outlook again towards mid-June. Thanks for watching today, and bye for now.